Rahu and Ketu, the shadow planets in astrology, very mysterious, karmic, and often misunderstood in the world of astrology. Today, did you know that these powerful forces in your birth chart can be balanced and even transformed with the right spiritual remedies? In today's episode, we are going to dive deep into the world of these axes. The Rahu, the Ketu, the South and the North Node, their impact in your life, their purposes, and also some powerful remedies for you that can really help you to navigate their influences on your life. So, to guide us through this very interesting and powerful topic, I'm joined by someone truly special. I'm talking about Anita Rao, a seasoned Vedic astrologer with over 20 years of global experience, and she will be joining us live from the UK. So today, Anahita is going to join us to share her insights on these two powerful planets, Rahu and Ketu, and more importantly, the practical and the spiritual remedies that can really help us to align our higher purposes. So whether you are feeling stuck in your karmic pattern or simply curious about these enigmatic planets, Rahu and Ketu, this podcast, this conversation is going to offer you a lot of light. So let's begin. But before we begin, if you are new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and give this video a big like to support our work and enjoy this content like this more. You're really going to love this valuable knowledge shared by Anahita in today's conversation, today's postcard. So let's start and let's understand the divine light. Thank you. Hello, Anita. Welcome back to the channel, and so nice to see you again. So in this video today, we are going to have so much of interesting subjects and topics to be covered about the axis Rahu and Ketu. And Anita ji is one of the expert to guide us, to light us what's happening with this next month's transit of Rahu Ketu in a new zodiac sign coming in. So it's going to be a very interesting session today. So I'll hand it over to you and let's start the discussion. Yes, please.
Hi, Gautam. Thank you for inviting me again. It's a pleasure to be here on your
Yep.
channel. And today, actually, what I thought was, I've made a separate video actually on, the Rahu Ketu transit that is coming up, and I will upload that soon. But today I thought, let me concentrate on remedies for Rahu and Ketu because, you
Awesome.
know, it's such a like it is such an important and life-changing energetic force in our charts, right? In everybody's chart, wherever it lands up, whatever
Yeah.
house it lands up, whatever planet it sits with or aspects. So it's important to talk about, remedies because if I mean I'm still in my Rahu Dasha. In fact, I'm coming towards the end of it. But still I am, so I think I have a little bit more of an understanding of how Rahu functions. But
Absolutely.
it's not an easy energy by
It's
any.
not easy. That's true. And we all have been there,
Yeah,
faced that, done that. So my experience in the previous Rahu Antardashas or Ketu Antardashas were not so great. It's a shadow and it's a very powerful energies during this time.
yeah.
And doing remedies, protecting ourselves is very important. And you have rightly said that these could be important times where we have to protect ourselves and do those
Yeah.
remedies of these
Yeah.
planets.
Yeah. And the amazing thing about Rahu Ketu is, I mean, they will always keep you on your toes. Like if you think you've figured it out,
Yeah,
you will.
absolutely.
So,
There's
yeah, it's hard even for astrologers to say exactly what will happen during your Rahu Ketu Dasha.
true.
But so we're learning though. We're always learning and we're always
Yeah,
kind of you know contemplating these subjects. But on
true.
that note, I'm going to share with you the presentation that I put together. Uh,
Awesome.
and discuss
Excited.
we can discuss more. Okay. So
Sure.
I'm going to actually approach it. First of all, generally, we will talk about remedies for Rahu Ketu. Then we will try to concentrate on the houses, the axis. Rahu Ketu in 2/8, Rahu Ketu in 1/7, like that sort of thing, right? Rahu Ketu, as we said, it can bring challenges. It can bring challenges in its dasha, of course, its antardasha, and it's Pratyantardasha. And of course, when the transit of Rahu Ketu is hitting your moon, it is hitting the angles, like the 1 4 7 10. that can bring some big shifts in life. So we will talk about that, like how to balance, how to heal the nodal energies, because they are agents of change, chaos, confusion, fear, disruption, right?
Absolutely. So much dilemma going in this Rahu Ketu Antardasha, Mahadasha Antardasha time. So
Yeah.
it's important because if nothing works during this time, I think we need a plan B. And the plan B is the remedies of these nodes.
Yeah, absolutely. And the remedies can really, like, it's not going to take away what's going to happen in your life, right? When it comes to, your karmic blueprint is what it is. We have
Correct.
to, but what we can do is we can manage it, right? We can manage it to the extent that, okay, we're not so lost. We're not so confused. We're not so fearful because all of those emotions will be there during Rahu Ketu dashas. And I've seen it. I mean, I have yet to meet somebody who hasn't experienced this during the dasha or the antardasha, right? So Rahu, it tends to be associated with grief, paranoia, psychological issues, fear, restless feelings, frustration, just dissatisfaction. Like Rahu's tendency, because it's the head, is just to keep going after the next experience, the next experience, the next one. But it's like no matter how clever Rahu, that energy is in us, in that force in us, and no matter how successful we are into achieving that which Rahu longs for, we are ultimately just dissatisfied because we've gotten exactly what we wanted rather than what we needed,
True.
isn't it? The biggest blessing is, and this is, Jupiter is quite different in this way, is you get what you need, not what you're hankering for, right?
Correct.
And that's the true contentment, right? So it is extreme desire. Ketu is disconnectedness. It can lead to isolation. You want to be isolated. It's not like the whole world rejects you and says, you know what, I don't want anything to do. It's not like that. It's coming from you first, also, right? You are exhibiting that feeling. And so what is happening is others are reflecting it back, right? You feel a sense of disconnectedness. You feel apathy. You're like, you know what? I don't care. Oh, you this is a problem, that's happening, this happening. I should be doing this at work. I should be doing this in my relationship. You know what? I just don't care.
That's
There's a
so, yeah.
sense of apathy. Like, what's going to happen if I don't do it? And if you are in Ketu Dasha, or if you are very Ketu orientated personality, and you're pushed by others, by society, by your colleagues, by your relationship partner, by your children, whatever it is, you can also develop extreme anger and push it away. That can also happen because Ketu is very much the Agni Tattva, like the fire, right? So if your Rahu Ketu in your birth chart is badly afflicted, right? Like badly afflicted means it's sitting with it's sitting with Moon or Sun, it's sitting with Saturn, it's sitting with Mars. It can result in greed, obsessive compulsive behavior, delusion. Definitely delusion will be there, even if it's not badly afflicted. Depression can be there, panic. You can have panic attacks, right? Because you're like the fear is just, and it's unfounded fear. Like you're fearing things, but a lot of times those fears just don't have any basis. It's not because you're going crazy. It's just that you're overthinking stuff so much, right? There's desire. So
Right.
the flip side of desire is fear, actually, if we think about it. Um, there can be scandals also when you're going through Rahu, Ketu Dasha, fears, phobias, excessive anger, as I mentioned. And especially if you have Rahu Ketu sitting with your moon, right? This can really feel
That's
quite,
where the Grahan happens, the eclipse.
that's the eclipse. That's the eclipse.
Eclipse with the moon, solar eclipse with the sun, and lunar eclipse, Chandra Grahan with the moon. So,
Yeah,
and typically I have noticed that when the native have planets coming, Rahu with moon conjunction degreely, very close to each other or in the same nakshatra.
yeah,
All these things which you have presented in on the screen is 100% true.
yeah, yeah. It's tough. Rahu with the
It's
moon,
very
Ketu,
tough.
Ketu with the
And
moon.
and
And
one,
look at it in D1 and D9. Do you agree?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Yeah.
it's so unknown. Like during Rahu time, everything is strange. Strange things, unknown place, unknown people, unknown environment. It's like complete strange things also happening during these nodal times. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think, of course, also with the sun, when the nodes are connecting, that is also, of course, an eclipse. But I feel like the sun can handle it a little bit better than the moon, right? Because the moon is such a sensitive planet, actually,
Yeah,
isn't it?
moon is mind, sun is your soul, but
Yeah.
mind could be a little weak. Mind gets a little weak, and if it's all psychological, it's all mind in this world, in this era where we are living in, moon is the most important thing, and moon gets afflicted with node, then it becomes challenging.
Because it's absorbing that energy so quickly, right? The moon.
Yeah.
So absolutely. Now, signs that Rahu is in difficult place in the chart. So Rahu can be quite difficult when it is associated with. So now, we talked about, yeah, Rahu connecting with the moon is a tough placement for sure. But what if it's connecting with the fourth lord? Similar. What if it's connecting with the fifth lord? Right? You will get some similar experiences because fourth is what? The mind. It's connected. It's again, fourth house is ruled by the moon, right? Fifth house is our intelligence.
Hmm.
So Rahu connecting with the fourth, fifth, and seventh lord or those houses I've seen can cause problems. Right? It's harder to manage that Rahu energy if that is happening in your chart. Yes. Rahu being most harmful for the mind, causing psychological disturbance. So
True.
for are significations of the mind. It can also disturb your relationships. Right? So we know that Rahu in Venus's sign, it can also give you abundance in terms of money, in terms of fame, for sure. But it can disturb your relationship. It can bring compulsive attractions, potential scandals as a result of some of those attractions. Maybe you get involved in an affair or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it can disturb your marriage if Rahu is connecting with seventh house or seventh house ruler.
That's so true. Today, most of the natives in the world who are suffering from like a lot of relationship challenges and troubles, somewhere in their chart, Rahu, Ketu, seventh house are somehow connected.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, in the era that we live in, Rahu, Ketu are very strong, right?
Hmm.
So they will be more impactful. So signs that Ketu is in a difficult place. Ketu can be quite difficult when it's associated with the first, second, 10th, and 11th house and rulers. So why do I say that? Well, the first is obvious, right? It can cause confusion in your life path, in your identity. There's a sense of I don't know who I am and I don't know what I want. Okay. Second and 11th, obvious. Those are the earth, that's the earth tetrachord, right? So that's our wealth, that's our family, that's our income, that's our earnings. And Ketu not really interested in that. It can be
Hmm.
very disconnected with that place. 10th is our career. 10th is how we appear in the world. 10th is how we engage with others in the world, especially in our career. And
Yeah.
those are the houses I feel, and when Ketu is connecting to them, it can cause disturbances in those relationships, right?
Right.
And it can also make you very much just how we were saying before, like that sense of like, you know what, I just don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care about the consequences. Never mind. I don't need this job, and I don't need money, and I don't need this family. That like it's very much like so. It's a
Yeah.
problem for Ketu. Ketu can be, of course, overly critical, absolutely detached, and will simply rip away the significations of the planet or house it occupies. Rip it away and throw it away. It's not like Saturn. Saturn will just make you miserable, but Ketu will be just no, forget. I don't need this. Goodbye.
Hmm. Correct. Saturn can change, can bring a significant change in that day, in the week, in a month, and then things will be okay. But Ketu, if Ketu brings change, it will be transformation, big change, which will go for many years, many decades, or complete life transformation.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's the difference. That's the difference. So let's talk about some remedies then for these shadow grahas. Rahu will create excessive vata, right? Because it is a vata
Right.
planet. It is an airy planet. In the mind, in the body, restlessness will be there. Anxiety can be there. Need for constant stimuli in action, right? Because the head, it's always thinking, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I want this, I want that, I want that all the time. So this is what can happen during your Rahu Dasha or Antardasha, or even when you have a very prominent like Rahu transit, right? What we said, the angles, or it's connecting with the moon or sun. So pranayam, I find is to be like I have tried many remedies for Rahu. Let me tell you,
Yeah,
because
we all have tried everything for Rahu-Ketu. Some works wonders, some doesn't work because the nature of Rahu and Ketu is such that you have to try new things. Yes.
it keeps you on your toes. Yeah. So I have tried my Rahu Dasha had started back in 2011. So I'm close at the last kind of 4 years. I believe it's 4 more years. So I have tried various remedies, and I find that pranayam works really well
Wow, I like
because
that.
like because the idea is that you're using your breath to manage the mind, right? And I think that works well. Not only does it calm and bring like some sense of what do you say, intelligence in you, but also it just detoxifies. It detoxifies the mind.
Mhm.
It's amazing. And I was actually quite religious about doing every single day. I used to do Kriya, Sudarshan Kriya, but now I've kind of gotten a little bit, lazy with it. But yeah, so it's a fantastic remedy, I find.
That's what it happens in Rahu. Sometimes there is no routine. We want to do yoga, we want to do meditation every day, we want to work on our health, but the routine which we try to work it doesn't work as we want sometimes. And I feel Rahu is the head, the mind, as you rightly said. And to keep the first step is to keep this calm during Rahu, Mahadasha or Antardasha. Pranayam, yoga, meditation, 100% works.
Yeah, yeah. I have found pranayam to be quite effective. So, Ketu is what excessive Agni, right? Again, mind and body both, right? So there can be fearless behavior. There will definitely be fearless behavior in Ketu, Dasha or Antardasha. I mean, there's a sense of like rebellious behavior, also you can say sometimes, right? Because like ultimately there's just a need for letting go. I just want like I want to be rid of this responsibility. This is, I just want to be rid of it, whether it's your home, whether it's your family, whether it's your money, your bank balance, your career, your investments, whatever. There's a sense of I want to be rid of it. So consider surrender, of course, but cultivate faith, right? Because that's important, right? Just cultivate faith in a higher power if you don't already have that. I've found silence is a very effective remedy for Ketu. Just practicing silence. Like, for example, like, can you take away one day in 1 month, like maybe a Sunday or whatever it is, and just be silent? So that means no phone, no computer, no talking. Can you do that? I mean, a lot of people like
Yeah,
they like the idea and they try it. And like I've done, in fact, I've done silence, what do those retreats. I've done silence retreats for like 10 days and 5 days.
I
And
have heard that, and they are very powerful. I wish I can go for like 3 day, 5 days, complete 100% silence retreat and rejuvenate and relax. So, but yeah, that's good.
it's been a while since I did it, but I remember the last time I did a 10-day silence retreat, and you are on that high for months afterwards. Like that the what kind of a regeneration of your mindset it has, a reset of your mindset that it does. You ride that wave for a while, and it's really effective. Silence. Fasting is also a good one. If you can do that. I think these are good remedies because with Ketu, it's so easy to connect with that inner voice. You just have to like quiet yourself. Like you just have to like be still, and not be distracted by the outer influences. And then
True.
you will just know the answer, what you need to do. But the thing is that Ketu acts hastily. So if you're like withdrawing just a little bit and doing a silence and doing a fasting, even if it's just for one day, then you will maybe, okay, maybe I shouldn't have said that or done that, or you kind of come to terms with something there.
Correct. In Indian Vedic culture also there is something called as Maun Vrat. Maun Vrat means complete silence of your words, of your outdoor your output communication, and you have to be just stay mum for a day or so, or for a day or a week. and that really helps.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So these are just some general remedies, especially for Rahu. Remove all electric items from home that you're not using, right? Like sometimes like there's wires sitting in our closets that we've forgotten about and they're just, they're sitting around. So remove that. And try to like, when you sleep in your bedroom. I know it's hard for a lot of people these days because we tend to keep our phone with us every time, but try to like switch off from that if you can when you sleep also, because that really troubles the mind. Southwest corner, keep it clean. That's for Rahu again, clutter free. You can have one piece of heavy furniture there if you want to stabilize that space.
Yeah.
Uh, and then adopt a small animal, dogs, cats, birds, or if you cannot adopt, feed small animals, right?
Yeah.
This is for Ketu more so.
This
Um,
is so fantastic, helping those animals in our, local community, volunteering for them, or just feeding them, just taking care of them. It's such a good karma, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can even, like maybe your friend is going away on a holiday. They want some help for you to look after their cat or their dog, do that.
Wow,
Yeah.
this is something new, and I think this is so good.
Yeah.
So it means that at my home, I don't have a dog yet. Like kids are behind me. Daddy have a dog. Like, need to get a dog. But we have a neighbor, so sometimes they are on travel and they leave their pets at our home. Kids enjoy it. It's so wonderful time during that time, and I think this is good to just take care of some friend or neighbor or family's dog or cat for
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
moment. Yeah.
So Rahu, so let's talk about spiritual remedies. I mean, I say spiritual, but these are actually religious. You can also label it religious. For Rahu, fasting on Saturdays, excellent. Durga Puja mantra, really good, really effective. And I have tried this. For me, pranayam worked the best, but I also do fast on Saturday nowadays for like the Shani, this thing, Sadhe Sati. But so this is fasting I've done for many other reasons, and I find fasting to be so effective.
Hmm.
Really. And you can do a partial fast also, right? You can also do a partial fast. So fasting, very effective also. And when you fast, if it's not possible to abstain from eating at all, you can just eat fruits that day.
Hmm.
It
Yeah.
doesn't be a complete fast where you're not eating anything. You can just eat fruits that day, and that's very effective also. Ketu, fast on Thursdays rather than Saturdays, and Ganesha mantra and puja, good remedy. But the best thing is you develop some kind of a practice. As you said rightfully in Rahu Ketu, it's just hard to maintain some kind of routine, some kind of practice.
When I had Rahu Antardashas going on, and I was going through some, challenges in life, where some career path challenges, financial challenges, and during Rahu Antardasha, I had started Rahu Bij Mantra. That really worked a lot, and Rahu Bij Mantra gave a good discipline. And specifically, Rahu Ketu Bij Mantras, I read somewhere in some book that they should be done after the sunset in the evening time, because these two are shadow planets. They are enemy to sun, and after sunsets, that really works really good.
Okay. And were you doing like 108 times and like was it like
I typically didn't had the count of 108, but I used to just sit, very silent, facing the south west corner. If it is Rahu, then south west corner, facing in the evening after sunset, just for like 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, as much as how much ever we can do, just to bring that daily routine of 5 minutes
oh,
of the mantra chanting. That was very, very helpful.
you did every day, is it?
Every day in the evening, and that was helpful.
Okay, fantastic. Good.
Mantra chanting is like a prescription, like how we go to a
Yeah.
physician, we go to a doctor, they will say, okay, this tablet in the morning, this after food, this is after dinner, this is in before you go to bed. So mantra also works, every specific planetary mantra works in specific time. Gayatri mantra has a time, the hora of the day when it works really good. Mahamrityunjaya japa, Hanuman Chalisa, Rahu Bij mantra, Ketu Bij mantra. So every planetary energy mantra has some best timing of the day.
Sure. I mean, one of the things that I have adopted, I don't know if it was the beginning of Rahu that I started doing this. It's been so long that I don't remember when I started, but I actually do just a very simple mantra for the sun because why the sun? Because it's my Lagna Lord, right? So whatever is happening in your life, whatever dasha you're going through, the default is always doing a mantra for your Lagna Lord, you know?
Correct.
Good default. So now, if just for a few minutes, I'm just going to talk about the nature of Rahu Ketu, and then we're going to jump into the remedies for the each axis, right?
Yeah.
So nodes will always take you on a path of experience, as I mentioned, right? Whether it's positive, whether it's negative, they will come into your life things will come into your life quite suddenly. They can leave very suddenly. Also, there's a lot of unpredictable factor with the nodal energy with Rahu and Ketu, right? And you tend to be consumed with the experience. With Ketu, you tend to be very apathetic to experience. With Rahu, you're consumed with the experience. You're in fact chasing it. You identify with it also very strongly. What is happening with me? What happened with me? Who said this? Who said that? Like you know that you. But ultimately, the purpose is to teach you that you are not the experience. Everything comes, everything goes, and everything is temporary. Really.
True.
And with nodal dasha, you will get so many lessons and for this conclusion. Okay, you will get
Yeah.
one after the other
That's
after.
that's the these I think these Antardasha do come in everyone's life to teach lessons, because if we as a human, if we don't get those lessons that hard time, then we will be just flying on the seventh heaven, and we
Right,
have to stay grounded. These
right.
dashas are important to keep us grounded, and that during this era, this time.
Right. And also to put things into perspective, like to give you the big picture, like we're not just this. You know, we're not, this is all Maya, this is all illusion. Go beyond it, transcend it, you know? And Ketu will give you plenty of opportunities to transcend it. But even Rahu will, just in different ways they're operating, right? So this is nothing is actually the most important thing to remember in Rahu Ketu because each experience that comes our way completes us. It completes something, not us, just completes something. Completion means leading to the void or nothing. And in the progression of life, you will leave behind every experience saying this is nothing, right? So spiritual practice is the only thing that I found that can help you realize this, right? And as I said to you, like if you're doing pranayam, it's just like it's a detox for the mind. It's that letting go thing and realizing that thing, this is nothing. So on that note, that was a little bit of philosophical, words to kind of look at the nodes in a different way. But let's talk now about Rahu Ketu, in your chart and like where do they land up in your chart, right? Is it
This is
or
fantastic.
you know?
I have watched most of all your videos on Ketu in fifth house, Ketu in sixth house, Rahu in first. So they were very interesting content and good knowledge which you have shared on your channel. So thank you for that too.
Okay, great. I'm glad you liked it. So these are some things that like I'm just sharing with you from my observation.
Yeah,
It's not coming from any shastra, any like classic book. It's
true.
just
Experience is the key.
yeah. So Rahu Ketu, if it's in the 1-7 axis, right? This is actually, I don't have this in my 1-7 axis, but I have heard from so many people who find this like this is a difficult one. This is not easy having hosting Rahu Ketu in your 1-7 axis, whether it's the moon or whether it's your lagna, if you take as the 1-7, right? So if Rahu is in the first house, be truthful because here you can take shortcuts and maybe lie like tell little white lies here and there. It's very much and justify it. um Curb your alcohol and meat intake. This is important
Hmm.
for Rahu in the first. It's very important. One actually, especially if you're going like you have Rahu in the first house and you're experiencing Rahu Dasha. Okay.
Correct.
Cleanliness and hygiene also important for Rahu in the first house. And then
True.
Ketu in the seventh. Ketu in the seventh. So Ketu is connected to rejection, right? Wherever it is, it's rejecting that place in the chart, either the person or the thing or the experience, whatever it is. So instead of rejection, here try to show love, right? So maybe tone down criticism. Stop looking for the perfect match in a partner. And the other thing is, like I find sometimes with Ketu in the seventh, people get stuck on their image of what they want in a partner, like they had a boyfriend or girlfriend in high school or in college And that was like the best relationship. And that was, even though that person might have hurt them, right? But they can't get away from they can't get away from that image in the mind. And so they get stuck with that. Okay, it has to be someone like that, right? Or
Yeah.
they have to work well. So Ketu in the seventh can get stuck.
Let go of the old thoughts and those old relationship which didn't work out in the past. Ketu in seventh house is that relationship transformation, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Or just, maybe looking at relationship in a different way. I don't know. But it's not an easy placement. I mean, we can say these words about it, but when you're experiencing it, it's not going to be an easy placement at all. What about if Ketu was in the first and Rahu was in the seventh? Um,
Wow.
this has its own bag of challenges. I mean, Ketu in the first, don't overly rely on emotions because you can be very impulsive and emotional. You can just make decisions
Mhm.
like this, and you won't look back. You won't even regret them. It's not that you will regret them or look back. It was just that the consequence might come in a different way than you thought, right? So get advice when you're unsure, maybe. Like that could be also a solution here. Rahu in the seventh can be too dependent on others in the sense that you are just always looking for validation, right? See others for what they are rather than what you want them to be. This placement is also a tricky one, really. Like you can attract people that aren't showing their true colors.
Yeah.
There's a hidden agenda there. There's hidden motive there. They're just wearing like two, three, four masks in front of you all the time, and you cannot tell, and you're sure that you know them, but then the truth comes out much, much later, and you're like, oh God, like, so this is a difficult placement, right?
Seventh
Uh,
house is the social life. And Rahu over there in our social life,
yeah,
it's difficult.
yeah.
And there could be certain hidden agenda of some people in our life, be it our friends, family, relatives.
Yeah, absolutely. It can be a hidden agenda. It can be also you're deceiving yourself because you're seeing things in them that they're not there. It's not there.
Yeah.
Rahu Ketu in the 1-7 axis, it is so important to have good advice in your life. Like, check your ninth house. Like, is it working for you? Because if it's not working for you, the ninth house, then it becomes more challenging. But getting advice with Rahu Ketu in the 1-7 axis is very useful. It could be advice from it could be guidance from anybody. It could be even like a very, very close friend that you trust who has more experience in life than you or something like that. It could be your grandmother. It could be a healer, a therapist, a doctor, an astrologer, like various, people. It
True.
doesn't. So if we talk about Rahu Ketu in the 2-8 axis, Ketu in the second, I couldn't really come up with many. I mean, donating food I thought would be a good one. Maybe, watching your speech, silence, as we were talking about practice
Yeah.
silence.
Mohan Bharat.
Yeah. Rahu 8, this is a toughie. This is a tough position. You have to get in the habit of letting go. You have to, because this can create very vengeful thoughts, and they can consume you. So forgiveness, letting go. It could be forgiveness or letting go. Sometimes we cannot forgive, but we can just let go of the experience and say, you know what, this is, I mean, sometimes like I can share my experience, how I do it. Like I find it difficult to forgive also, but what I do find it easier to let go because I will say that, okay, that person is acting from their play in like their evolution. Why should I expect them to act from how I think? So that helps me to let go of the experience and of how I'm thinking about that person. And then forgiveness kind of on its own will come, but it's not so easy. This is a difficult placement. Oh, and it could also be Ketu sitting in Taurus and Rahu sitting in Scorpio. This is
Scorpio.
very, very difficult energy, very, very karmic signature, actually, right? Um, in the 2-8 axis, especially if it's Scorpio and Taurus that we're talking about. What do you think?
Ketu in second house is the house of your family. And typically, when Ketu in any native's house is in the second house, they belong to a very spiritual family and they have to attach to the family such native, the spiritual practices should happen with the family. And you have to listen to the family. That's more important. If Ketu is in your second house, you have to get advice from your elderly parents, grandparents in the family, and
Yeah.
whatever spiritual guidance they would have, it will really work in your life. Whatever mantra they will say, or Ketu in second house, Kul Devi or Kul Devata, prayers to them really works. And specifically when Rahu is in the eighth house, that's, more vengeful thoughts, more sort of thoughts, psychological thoughts,
Yeah.
moving towards suicide, suicidal tendencies, or
Yes. Yeah.
death, or
Yeah.
eighth house is dark, occult. Eighth house is black magic. Eighth house is attracting evil eye or black magic. Eighth house is related to paranormal activities, to ghost, paranormal activities, and Rahu there is it's a difficult combination, and you have to do Rahu remedies in this case.
It's a tough one. And of course it also matters what is your eighth house, right? I mean, I think it like for example, if Pisces is your eighth house, I think that would be easier to deal with than if like Aries is your eighth house or if Scorpio is your eighth house. That's because we also have to see that a little bit because that will it will bring a shade of like modification there. But yeah, I mean, this is a tough one. It's 2 and 8.
Mhm.
Uh, Rahu in the second and Ketu in the eighth. I think this is somewhat easier than the other way around. So here, practice vegetarianism if you can, because what you consume is important with Rahu in the second. Avoid junk food, limit alcohol, uh, watchful of harsh speech, be ethical in money matters, right? Because this Rahu in the second can really bring opportunities for you where you can eat like quick money making schemes and where you can just kind of do shady things to make, and it will backfire because Rahu is so strong there. It will backfire. Ketu in the eighth, let go and let live is what I put because this is Ketu in the eighth can really like will not forget any wrong they have been like through, or if somebody has wronged them or somebody's they will not forget. So let go and let live. Daily spiritual practice, amazing for Ketu in the eighth because it is such a fantastic placement for spiritual growth. So if you have some practice, you can really like climb that like the growth with spirituality, with accessing that spirituality inside of you. This is a placement where all the answers are inside. Like all the answers are that you need are inside you. You just have to know how to access that place. Um, Having a dog, fantastic remedy also for Ketu in the eighth.
Rahu in second house, the house of finance, it can make the person go a little unethical in business. And Ketu in second house, the house of finance, can make a person very spiritual and a person who want to just donate the money, help others. And one quick example which comes like from a business point of view, Rahu in second house can make a person Harshad Mehta of the stock market or of the world. Ketu in second house can make Ratan Tata, Sir Ratan Tata of the world, where you donate, you help people, create certain organizations to help their employees and everyone. And we have heard so many good stories about Tata Group, Tata organization. They have
But
ethical ways.
yeah, absolutely. That's the difference, isn't it? Because both of them are attracting money and wealth, but the one placement, like Ketu, is not so attached to it that as Rahu is, right?
Yeah.
Ketu is, isn't it? So there's a sense of, okay, giving, like you said, like the charitable thing. That's interesting.
Ketu will attract money, Ketu in second house, but at the same time, Ketu will also let go, donate the money very easily to people and help others, create a good karmic pattern over there. And sometimes some native face lot of challenges in saving, the financial savings. People are
Yes,
like, oh, I'm unable to save money.
yes, yes,
Yeah, Ketu, you have Ketu in second house. How will you
yes.
able to save money? But they don't crib. The thing is that they are happy. They are like okay. Like even if they are
Yeah.
unable to save money, they are okay.
Yeah, because they know that the money's going to come somehow, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think that Ketu in the second can create problems in the family life. It can create problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, certain detachment from the family.
Yeah, right. Yeah. The next one. This is a pretty like this is easier to handle than the other two that we just spoke about, the other two axis, I think. Rahu Ketu in the 3-9 axis. So Rahu in the third limits social media time, do pranayam to reduce anxiety because right, Rahu, like third is what? Mercury. So there can be a lot of anxiety because there's overthinking with this placement. Anytime Rahu is with Mercury, there's overthinking. Innovative, build new skills. Don't be afraid to like adopt new skills and try new things. And this is a good placement for that. Ketu in 9, respect elders, especially father, guru, travel, beneficial. Because see, what happens with Ketu in the ninth, I feel sometimes is that the person thinks that they know everything about everything. Like I have this knowledge. I don't need a guru. I have this. I have so and they do. They often do. They're self-taught people. They can reject like traditional education, conventional education, and conventional knowledge, and they actually are very bright because they do know things and they can figure things out. So at times you may not know everything. So take advice from like your father, your guru, your elder,
Yeah.
whatever. Other way around, a little bit more difficult. Ketu third, be consistent. Ketu in third has like you can be all over the place. There's no consistency. There's no consistency with what you say also. What you're saying. You're saying one thing one day, you're making promises, and the tomorrow it's completely the opposite. So this is something with Ketu in the third you have to be watchful for. And
Mm.
follow a disciplined lifestyle. Rahu in ninth, listen to advice from those who are more learned, practice good ethics, visit religious places. So Rahu in the ninth is problematic, definitely. This is very problematic. This is the people that, unlike Ketu in the ninth, where actually they do know things and they have self-studied, Rahu in the ninth just tends to pretend that it has self-studied, but it doesn't really know, and likes to kind of come across that it has all this knowledge, but perhaps it's not there. Visit religious places because you will with Rahu in the ninth, you will probably shun religion and any conventional religious path or teachings, but try to be more accepting of that, I think. So, what do you think?
Absolutely. Rahu in ninth is little difficult. There are two important things of your life. Number one, get spiritual, get religious and spiritual. And number two is you need a coach. Rahu in ninth house, sometimes, we have those coach where they help certain courses, certain diplomas, like a 1 month course or a certain retreat, a retreat at a spiritual place, be it Rishikesh, be it Mount Himalayas, or some retreat. That's really helps a lot, and people are connected to it too. Rahu ninth.
This is not an easy placement. I actually have this, and this is a toughie.
Yeah,
Um,
Kendra is never easy. And
Never.
specifically, Kendra means like the Kendra, the 410, 410, 10 4.
Yeah, 410, 10-4, 1-7, 7-1. Yeah. So K through 4. Definitely maintain a clean home. You will just feel when you have your environment is clean and organized, you will just feel more peaceful. Okay. Connect with your roots, right? What like your birth country, your culture, your religion, well, like whatever your roots, your ancestral lineage, whatever it is, connect with that. If you have a guru, fantastic. If you have a guru with Ketu in the fourth, this will really manage that Ketu in the fourth to a great degree,
Mhm.
is what I feel. Keeping a dog is also a good remedy for the Ketu in the fourth. Rahu in the tenth,
Mhm.
in work-life balance. I find that with the Rahu in the tenth, it is so difficult to switch off from work. Like so difficult. Like you can just overdo it. Like I myself don't. I have a problem with switching off from work. But I enjoy my work so much that for me it doesn't. But I don't know the line. I don't know when to stop and I don't know when to. Um, Working abroad is fantastic with Rahu in the 10th. If you get an opportunity to go outside of your birth country to work, it is a fantastic thing. to take advantage of, because it will really enrich your career life. And then authorities can cause problem with Rahu in the 10th, right? What about what do you think about this
Yeah,
one?
Ketu in fourth house, one very powerful remedy is fourth house is connected with our home, the space where we live. And Ketu is a very spiritual planet. So the remedy is very simple. Every day, do a diya, light a candle, keep your spiritual practices on every single day. And secondly, once in a year, do like a homam or a puja, be it Satyanarayan puja or be it depending upon what religion you are, you can invite religious people at home to perform certain religious duties or puja or havan or homam once in a year at least. That is considered as very auspicious with Ketu in the fourth house, the house of
Oh, that's
your.
interesting. You mean like because it clears out the energies? Like, is that?
It clears off energy. Energy cleansing is required everywhere. That's why all the big temples, once in 12 years, they have a big homam, a big cleansing homam for big temples too. Once in every 12 years. So there is a cycle of 12 years for big temples. They don't need it every year because every space has an energy. Our house space needs once in a year because every year we have certain renovations going on, so many guests, people, friends come in our home, and there's so much energies which cross from our home. So once in a year, doing that havan or any sort of puja for once in a year is auspicious with Ketu in fourth house. It's a must do thing.
Oh, okay, fantastic one. Yeah, very nice.
And
Um,
Rahu in 10th? Wow. Rahu in 10th, I will say, and you had written it nicely that, be diplomatic with authorities. So my perspective was in Rahu in 10th is the same, that do not mess with your managers. Whatever the managers say, you have to, don't be a rebellious at workplace because it's going to backfire.
yeah,
Just stay calm. Do not do gossips at workplace. Of course, maintain ethics at workplace, and sometimes you might Rahu in 10th house, there is a little bit of manipulation in work. You're sending a presentation and there's some error, but you will polish it in such a way that the other client or manager is unable to see those mistakes, or you will try to cover your mess at work.
yeah.
But be careful. Yeah, out of 10 times, 6 or 7 times you will try to clear your mess and the other person will not know, but there are one or two instances wherein the other person will feel that, yeah, he or she
Yeah.
is trying to create an issue.
And when they do figure it out, you will still stand your ground. You're like, no, no, this is the right
Yeah.
way. I found, in fact, Ketu in the 10th is more tough than Rahu in the 10th, because in Ketu in the 10th, I say diplomatic here also with superiors rather than authorities. But the thing what I've found with speaking to people with Ketu in the 10th is they're often a lot smarter than the people that they work for. People who have Ketu in the 10th house, they're more smarter than the people they work for, and they're often more clever than than their colleagues as well. So it's frustrating for them to go slow and be diplomatic, and because their game is on another level. Um, it's a good placement if you can work for yourself at some point. It's actually a good one, because
Mhm.
you will find it so slow in a typical corporate setting where you have to work with other people and you have to like follow other people's rules, and so you can end up with people that are a lot less clever, and that will cause frustration. The other thing is, move away from your family expectations. Like, you grow up, your father has these expectations of you in terms of what you should do in the world and your career and all of those. Move away from that, because the idea is not to just seek that status because you're supposed to seek it, but rather to build your own life, and think about what that life should look like.
My father wanted me to be either a great engineer or a chartered accountant, but I never understood numbers. I never understood the engineering or the technical part. I was always had that spiritual thing in my life. So you're right.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's,
Yeah, but
but
you're an example of success story, right?
Rahu
Um,
Ketu, 4th, 10th 4, the biggest remedies, just respect the parents. Help them, support them, respect them.
right, right. That's obvious one that I didn't put. Yeah, that makes sense. Actually makes sense. Rahu in the fourth. Yeah, I mean, I mentioned this before. Get rid of your old electronics that you're not using, appliances, get rid of them. Travel, right? Fourth house is travel. So, like,
Yeah,
once that Rahu energy gets stuck there, right? So just movement, right? Kind of like movement, traveling. And this is the same with Rahu in the seventh, travel. Spend time in nature. Spend time in nature. That will also be a very calming influence for you. And you can combine the two, right? You travel to places where you can spend time in nature.
Rahu in 4th house, and you had mentioned keep the home clean. Clean. So that's really nice. That is very important because Rahu is shadow. Rahu is almost like grayish in color. And a simple remedy is I tell people that there would be like cobwebs in the corner of your houses. So wear a nice glove, take the Lysol wipes, and clean the corners of your house. Just go ahead and clean the corners because we typically do cleaning, which is the center of the house and the appliances, kitchen. But you have to get into the corners and clean it by yourself to clean that Rahu Ketu energies from the home.
Very good. Very good. They're very practical remedy also. Um, so now we are up to Rahu Ketu in the 5-11 axis. So Ketu in the 11th. Here you can take things for granted at times, Ketu in the 11th. So practice gratitude, cultivate real connections, right? So Ketu in the 11th you tend to attract people like based on status and wealth and how it looks. And so cultivate real connections, not just based on how what they look like. Rahu in the 5th, be cautious of love at first sight, said. And jumping to conclusions, also Rahu in the 5th, because Rahu in the 5th can be troublesome for the mind. As I mentioned before, when it's connecting with fourth and fifth house or Lord, Rahu can be trouble. It can be problematic. So, what is your feeling on this?
Yeah, no, certainly. Rahu in the 5th house is there is, we have to understand the difference between love and sort of
Yeah,
what is not a love. Because we sometimes feel that this is the love of our life, but that could be a delusion or confusion in that. Rahu in 5th, Ketu in 11th, there is always a difference between love and lust, and people have to understand that.
absolutely.
And people have to, you know, work towards that.
Yeah. And here again, like spiritual knowledge is going to help. Mantra chanting could help also, right?
Hmm.
To show you the clarity. Like having a guru can help to show you the clarity. This is important. Knowledge is important. Seeking knowledge is important, Rahu in the 5th. And I think also I've mentioned this with Ketu in the 5th. Ketu in the 5th, fantastic for mantra chanting because here, like the mantra chanting, the results of that will be very effective for you. Like you will very quickly see the results of this one. Charity also a good remedy. Rahu in the 11th, Ketu in the 11th, I think are fantastic placements, really fantastic placements, which is why I couldn't really think of many remedies for that. Because this is actually an axis that, Rahu Ketu can actually work pretty well for you. Stay away from controversy and be ethical with your earnings, right? This is the other
Yeah.
thing.
I really like Rahu 11th, Ketu 5th. This is best. This creates very good combination, and I have most of all the charts which I have seen in last 15, 16 years. This is a good combination. Rahu 11th, Ketu 5th.
Yeah.
Rahu in 5th. In the previous slide, we saw Rahu in the 5th house. I would like to give a big message to all the young people out there who use certain apps or certain like websites for like those dating websites and stuff. You have to be careful. There is going to be a fraud in your life. If you have Rahu in the 5th house, there is certainly some sort of problems or fraud or theft
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
from those dating.
And we
websites, because not everything is good. There could be some shady dating websites too.
and this is very relevant in today's era because a lot of people
In
are
today's
meeting.
era, yeah, exactly. And in the last couple of years, we have seen an upsurge of so many dating websites and links and clicks. And we have to be careful.
And it's not just Rahu in the fifth in your chart, it's also when it's transiting there. Okay. So be cautious then. And also look at the D9. Look at the D9 also, not just the
D9,
not just
yeah.
very good point about them. Yeah, very good point. So finally, we are toward the end of our talk here. 6-12 axis. Ketu in the sixth, I don't think is that problematic, frankly speaking. I mean, here a fantastic remedy is take probiotics to keep the health in intact because Ketu is our gut
Wow.
health, really, prevent like the gut health is in fact we associate Ketu with that with the gut, right? Because it's that instinct. It's our gut instinct, that's Ketu. Travel to new places, fantastic remedy. Cultivate solitude, donate. Opportunities for donation will definitely come here and there and here and there. Do that. Do as much as you can. Go live abroad. Go travel to places that you've never been to, right?
Hmm. Yeah. Your
It,
job will take you places.
yeah, it's
Rahu
not
house.
Rahu in the
Uh,
12th is easy. It's
yeah.
not easy. It can make you very disturbed in terms of your like sleep patterns can be very disturbed and watch for cheating also when, yeah.
Whatever it is, Rahu in 12th house, you need to do Rahu remedies during Rahu transits and Rahu Dasha. That is important.
And then finally, Ketu in the 12th and Rahu in the 6th. This is a fairly decent placement. I think Ketu in the 12th can be tough at times, but Rahu in the 6th is it can be tough at times, but the overall it's a manageable placement. So cultivate strong faith. This is very important for Ketu in the 12th because it's very easy for you to get disappointed, disillusioned in the world, just in the world.
Mhm.
And there's a sense of Ketu in the 12th just wants to switch off, just wants to isolate, just wants to switch off, just wants to just, you know what, I don't care. Like, I just want to be alone. To counteract that a little bit, because yeah, there's times that you should be alone, but in order to counteract that a little bit, cultivate strong faith, trust in others, that kind of thing is helpful. Rahu in the 6th, help people who are suffering. I mean, it doesn't mean just underprivileged people, right? Like we say, okay, 6th house is underprivileged people. Yeah, they're the workers and the subordinates and your servants and people who work for you, whatever it is. But not just that, but just people that are suffering. So that could be through seva, right? It could be giving your time through selfless service,
Right.
whatever. It's a fantastic placement to get results from being innovative with your career. So don't hesitate to try new things. Like it could be the same career, but you're trying different ways of expressing it or doing things in that same. It's a fantastic placement for that. You can take some risks with your career here and get good results.
Yes.
Watch for overthinking because there will be overthinking. Whenever Rahu is sitting in Mercury's houses, there will be overthinking. And then sixth house, of course, debts, right? Debts. So it'll be very easy for you to get loans and like,
Very
but
easy, but difficult to repay.
so then cautious of like, be cautious of like what you
I have
take
seen
on.
like people with Rahu in sixth house, any financial help needed anytime, they'll just call a friend that, hey buddy, can I have like $1,000? And they'll easily get it. 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, $500,000 loan, mortgage, home loan, or any help from anyone. They like easily get it.
Yeah.
But then there are
Yeah.
consequences and home loan mortgage rate, interest rate goes ups and downs and it's difficult.
Yeah, I mean, you should take advantage of that, but be smart also, right? Like be
Be
like
smart.
because we can get overwhelmed with that. So it is fantastic placement for that. But then, also think, okay, well, do I need this? Do I need to have 50,000 in credit card like, allowances? No, maybe I don't need 5 credit cards. Maybe I just need one. Like, like be
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
So that's what. So yeah, so that's what I had with
Ketu
this.
in 12th house is excellent for spiritual practices too. It makes the person very spiritual in life. And Rahu, sixth, career shifts and transformation keep happening. Such a person might not stay in one job or one career path for a long time or long-term stability. There will be certain changes which will keep happening. And Ketu in 12th house, it's good. I like this combination too.
You like this combination? Yeah. I mean, I think Ketu in the 12th is similar in that way to Ketu in the 8th, in the sense that if you just go inside, all of the answers are there for you. That is the blessing of Ketu in the 8th and the 12th. You just have to go inside and everything is there for you. But it's just accessing that space, right? And you can get
Yeah.
lost in that space because you're just so comfortable. Like I said, you're just so comfortable being alone and disconnecting. So that's the thing to be watchful for, like it's
Yeah.
that is all from my side. And
Thank you. This was such an enlightening and eye-opening session for some of the key points were very, very excellent points in the presentation by you and was an eye-opening for me. And I hope the audience is going to learn a lot from this session today from this wonderful presentation. So thank you so much for taking your time, Anita
thank
ji, and coming on the channel and guiding us. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in to this powerful conversation of Rahu and Ketu remedies. We hope it brought you clarity, insight, and some practical steps to align your karmic path. If you found this episode really helpful, please don't forget to like, share, and even subscribe this channel for more knowledge, more content on Vedic astrology, spirituality, and much more content coming on cosmic guidance. If you have got any questions related to these axes, how they are working in your birth chart, drop your questions in the comment below. We would be love to hear from you, and if you would like to get a deeper personalized reading, especially around Rahu and Ketu, you can connect directly with Anahita Rao. Her global experience and this rich intuitive insights have helped countless people to find their direction and also healing. Until next time, stay aligned, stay inspired, and may these stars always guide you. Take care. Hari Om.